right? So that didn't concern me, and everybody blew that shit way out of proportion. Fucking integrity in gaming, dude. There's not integrity in any journalism anywhere anymore. It's gone. Forget it. It's lost. Fuck it. It's gone. Okay.
It seems like everyone in video game journalism, they're just people who didn't give a shit about games, but couldn't get a job at like Salon or Mother Jones or some rag like that.
Right. I mean, and that's probably quite a bit of it. And the other half of it is like, I don't really care. I gotta tell you, I don't give a shit. And I don't understand the people that do. And there's the other side of the equation. They go, well, it's just an excuse to harass women and block them out of their the space of the white male gamer space, right? You're just trying to box them out of your space. And this girl actually said that to me. Like, see, like this is about people. Like, she got harassed, and why are you ignoring that? I just told her, I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm ignoring that. And you know what? I've never heard that before. Somebody got harassed. Did somebody receive death threats? First time I'm hearing about that, because it's never mentioned constantly. Every time you talk about these people. Yeah, you're right. Good fucking point, you dipshit. I mean, what are you fucking telling me, that I should just keep focusing on the fact that people with unpopular opinions on the internet get death threats and get a lot of shit hurled at them? Is this new? Have we forgotten that this happens to everyone on the internet who has an unpopular opinion? Yeah. Everyone. Regardless of their gender, regardless of who they are. And then she had said to me, I made a comment about the video maker saying that it was all white male babies. I was like, yeah, and this girl had said, well, it's not a dig at all white men. It's the fact that these guys, and then she like went on to literally compare Gamergators to the Klan, dude. The fucking Klan. I was like, could you please never talk to me again? Like, I left this huge response. I was like, this is it, and I don't know who she is. I was like, this is all you get from me. This is it. Like, if you reply to me again, I'm just going to be toying with you at that point. So I wouldn't waste any more, and she took my advice and didn't waste any more of her time. I was surprised at that. She actually took the advice. So I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. You didn't fuck that up.
She wrote you off.
Yeah, good.
She wrote you off as being beyond help.
Good. Well, I mean, it's true. Like, I'm very much beyond her kind of fucking help. I can tell you that. I'm definitely beyond it, because I'm not a complete fucking moron. I mean, I don't already have my mind made up about shit, right? I don't want to talk to people like that. It's fucking pointless. And you already had this fucking stupid narrative in your head. Gaming is for white guys, and they don't want anybody else to play. Like, that's your narrative. That's really, you're going to stick to that, right? Because, like, never in the history of my life have I ever heard another gamer say, you know, it'd be great if there were less women around.
Yeah,
that would be fucking phenomenal.
Let's go play some. Let's go some co-op. Wait, there's a girl on the TeamSpeak. Let's find a different server.
Yeah, everybody go home. Yeah,
let's find a different server. Let's
get
the fuck out of here. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And the whole thing about like, oh, well, female gamers have their sexuality and their gender fucking used against them all the time. Yeah, because that doesn't happen to anybody with a dick. That never happens. There's not guys on there talking about sucking each other's dicks. They're not telling each other they're fucking each other's mothers. That's never happening. The word fag isn't thrown around constantly, nonstop between people.
Yeah, definitely.
Never happens. So none of that ever happens to men online. Their sexuality is never brought up. Oh, wait. That's right. I forgot. It's the only thing that's ever brought up. It's the only thing. So you have two categories of people playing games with a microphone. There's the guys who actually want to play the game, and they discuss the game, right? That's column one. And that's a much more rare animal, right? You have to really work to find a group of people to play a game together, right? That are cooperative and want to, like, talk about the dungeon you're doing, right? The other category is guys talking about each other's dicks, who should suck them, how many times they've raped their mother. That's it. There was a guy I was playing Elder Scrolls Online yesterday. There was a guy just standing in the village. Free prostate exams. Free prostate exams for anybody that wants me to put my finger in their ass and examine their prostate. Anybody. Not gay. Seriously, I'm a doctor. You can trust me. Come over here. It was very funny, but the whole point is, like, can you imagine the opposite? Like, vaginal exams. Oh, this is just another example. How women have their sexuality turned to gay. Come the fuck on, dude. You know you're full of shit. You know it. Stop.
And really, that's just by people who were trolling for the most part. Because I remember,
that guy was an absolute troll, but he was.
You remember that game Atlantica Online?
Mm-hmm.
they had the classes were locked in by gender, right?
Mhm.
So you'd have one class that had a spear, and you could they just didn't want to make character models for both genders, I guess.
Right.
Right. So the monk is male, the archer's female, the gunner's female, but the spear guy is a guy, right?
Right.
So they
The
were all
spear
locked
guy is,
in, right? And so I almost anytime there's a multiplayer game, I play as a male, because I figure, well, I'm going to be interacting with, I just play as a male, don't even think about it, right? But
Right.
because there were classes that I wanted to play for their classes, I rolled 2 female characters, right? So I could have all 3 of the Atlanteans. So I had 1 male character, was the Atlantean swordsman, and then 2 female. It doesn't matter. And I had never been in a multiplayer game as a female before, and I had no idea just how much better you get treated as a female playing an MMO. It is like night and fucking day.
That would be a
People
great
who
way
are
not to
absolute
interrupt you, but
scum when you
Yeah.
introduce yourself as a male. If they think that you even might be the same gender as your female avatar, they are perfect fucking gentlemen.
yeah.
It is bizarre. It was
Yeah.
like okay, do you remember that South Park where the good Cartman comes from the evil dimension? It was like that. I'm like, you guys are playing an MMO. You're supposed to be the worst human beings on the fucking planet. You're supposed to be like the
Right.
most dysfunctional, but everyone was really nice.
Yeah.
And I acted exactly the same way, and they're like, "Oh well, it's so great that you have such
It's
good sense of
like
humor."
it's the South Park where Bebe gets breasts.
Yeah.
Ta ta, ta ta ta. They start throwing shit at each other. That's fucking great. They're drawing tits on the wall. They don't know what they're drawing, but they're drawing them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of shit. But yeah, that would actually be a great intro for a video. I had no idea how much better I would be treated. That's
Yeah.
what. But
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
if you're playing an MMO and you're struggling in any way, just re-roll as a female and you get like free shit.
yeah, dude, and female gamers are also assholes. Like, people forget this. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't understand. Yeah, I mean, they're great because they fit into gamers. There's an attitude when you have a microphone and you're playing a game. You just fuck with people, and you're an asshole to everyone you encounter constantly. I mean, there was this girl the other day. She was very funny. She just kept saying "fuck me right in the pussy." She just kept saying that. Like, every time she died, she goes, "Well, fuck me right in the pussy." And then she called everybody a fag and fucking their moms, and like I was eating your mom out, and just on. Like, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, this is a female who actually plays video games."
Yeah.
You're right. She's not like,
Well, in before Sarkeesian and Macintosh. Well, she's just been contaminated by a climate of toxic male, blah blah blah.
I guess, but she's really funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever. I mean, and what is she getting mistreated? No, everybody's like, as soon as like somebody says, as soon as a female says that, she's treated like everybody else. Period. Right? It's like, oh well, they get it. Like, you don't get trolled if you don't act like an actual like a total puss. Like, the moment somebody fucks with you, you don't start whining. It doesn't matter your gender. You start whining, you continually get fucked with. It doesn't matter, and that's what I don't understand. How these people, like, I've watched Sarkeesian's videos, and by and large, yes, I admit I actually watched most of her fucking videos from start to finish. Listen to what she said, and it's all really just her making shit up.
Yeah.
It's all just a matter of her deluded perception, right? Like, you just take this particular thing that you saw and you decide what it is, and it's this. It's easy as fuck. Anybody can do it. And the people that support her or pretend to, I don't know how they fucking do it. That's why, like, I haven't done this yet, but I pledged, like, I'm going to start paying more attention to the way her supporters talk. Because I've just recently run into a couple, right, who are just really, like, her supporters and understand and all that kind of thing. And I haven't seen their analysis of her work, which is going to be more interesting than her work, guaranteed, absolutely. But that's what I'm looking to see, is how do people watch what I just watched and make sense of it and go, yep, that sounds right. That sounds exactly right. Good point. Because it's all this blown out of proportion matter of, like, perspective. Perception. It's it. It's all the fuck any of it is. And most of it's easily debunked. Easily. Very little fucking effort. And it's just holy shit. And then there's... I'll stop babbling here in a minute. But then there's the other thing. Have you seen this whole drama about the... I didn't know this thing existed until a couple days ago. The Sarkeesian effect. Do you know what this is?
No.
Yeah, okay. Like, these two guys were doing, like, some sort of documentary about how Anita Sarkeesian sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, they fell out. They had some sort of falling out that had to do with, like, money or whatever it was. And now that's the conversation. Like, the movie is, like, doesn't matter. Now it's just all about how they're shitting on one another and this and that. But one of the dudes is, I'll just say it's a Rooney. I don't know why anybody would trust that motherfucker with anything. Like, he is literally the most... I'm not exaggerating when I say what I'm about to say. I want you to know this is not an exaggeration. He is the most sketchy person I've ever seen. Right? I see him, and I automatically just start checking for my wallet. Have I checked my ass? Have I been raped? Is there a dick currently in my ass? I mean, there's no way you're not raping and robbing me every minute that you're standing within 100 feet of me. There's no fucking way I'm getting away without being raped or robbed or killed. You've killed me, and I just don't know it yet. Right? He is literally the sketchiest motherfucker I've ever laid eyes on or heard. If you listen to him talk, you go, this is the most disingenuous cocksucker alive. Seriously. And then this other guy who's pretty much a rational sort of dude, seems to be. Like, he's got his shit together. Like, I listen to him talk, and I don't like the hair on the back of my neck doesn't stand up like it does when a Rooney talks. Like, this guy, and like, he trusted a Rooney. He, like, trusted the dude. Like, what the fuck is... And I said this in somebody's comment section. Like, I guarantee I'm not the world's best judge of character. Because nobody is. Like, we all fuck that up at some point. But if you listened to a Rooney talk for 31 seconds or longer, and you were like, I'm going into business with this guy. Just fucking quit. Just stop everything. Stop everything. Get like 9 years of fucking therapy. Reevaluate your life. Find Christ. Never thought I'd say that to anybody. Find Jesus, dude. Do something, because you're fucked. You are absolutely fucked. Right? If you're trusting a Rooney. Okay.
Alright, so...
Alright, so back to the actual game, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
right,
you have questions to ask. You can ask about her. You can ask about Uru, the demoness, omnibus, portals, or talking birds.
I want to know about the bird. I'm still pretty upset about
that.
That
is one loose end you just can't leave.
No, I can't
I met
let
a talking bird outside. After all you've been through, you find talking birds strange. Guess you can't argue with that.
Wow, okay. Well, I mean, yes, the answer to that question is yes, so why won't you tell me about the birds, you condescending bitch? Alright, let's, meh. Portals sound good. I'm interested in everything but her. I think this is going to end up pissing her off.
Yeah. How did I get to this place? Last thing I remember is the old attic. Let's see, what is it exactly? What you're holding on is a key, specifically blah blah blah. For a strange old Alistair. The name, could it take me home? It could probably open a portal to a realm very close to this one.
Oh, god damn it. Are they going to try to send me to the demon realm again?
Yeah. That would be funny if it was like a crossover.
Yeah, and it just went straight to the other game. You started... Oh, shit. Okay, Uru, I guess. That's gonna... I'm just going to keep avoiding her, like, completely, until I have no choice.
Let's see. Uru, beware of that one. She's very dangerous, unpredictable, chaotic, and very powerful. Let's see. All was reduced to ashes in her home plane by her hand and those who serve her. She's unable to make portals herself, sealing her in that place. Who knows if she was able to break free? Okay, and then you have to ask her about herself.
Yeah. If I have to, I guess I will.
Are you a goddess? I am Arya. I am who I am. Radiant woman gazes in the distance. Before it was simpler, fewer worlds.
Did she just do the fucking Yahweh line? She stole that from Yahweh, dude. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
The I am who am. Oh, that's God plagiarism, dude. She's gonna have a problem. All right.
Godgerism.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that'll work.
She falls silent. Old. Surely she could not be older than 25. I mean, Mullet's not terribly bright. He's one of those classic characters. It's like, I'm in a strange environment and I'm really having a hard time adjusting. Each and every strange thing surprises me. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's the nicest thing that's been said about Mullet for a long time. So I do appreciate that he's not terribly bright. I think he can accept that. He's also been traumatized, man. Like, shit, dude. He's got all kind of fucking PTSD shit going on from the Demon Realm adventure.
Yeah.
You know? He's totally fucked in the head, so... He might not even be interested. He might just be talking and, he can't hear himself. He's just completely traumatized.
You know what's funny is how people who play a lot of fantasy games gain this power of induction. So that you're like, I'm poisoned. Let me guess. Those glowing mushrooms. Am I right? I am. It's magic. Who would have thought? It's the same in the last 3 games I played.
Right. Also, Mullet might have PTSD from just people being mean to him on Twitter. That might be. He's not going to be he has a lot of unpopular opinions about things. So, on a serious note, though, or actually on a different note, certainly not a serious one, I was reading Anita Sarkeesian's, she tweeted, her quote-unquote harassing tweets for the week. Read one of the funniest things I've ever read in my life. One guy said, I'm going to, what did he say? I'm going to, penetrate dim sugar flaps and bust a AIDS load in there. That was the funniest thing I've read ever. It was just the way, it was all this shit, there's people just, fuck you, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. And, a bunch of, but then there's one guy's like, I'm going to bust them sugar walls, put an AIDS load in there. I lost it, dude. I was like, that's the funniest thing I've read all day. That was really
funny. Cool Queef's alt account.
He fucking posted a couple tweets the other day that I forgot to retweet one of them because one was really sexist, and it had to do with something I was relating to a YouTube video at the time, but I should have retweeted that. I just forgot to actually do that. But yeah, that guy rocks. That guy's funny as shit. And I actually did. I gave him a Follow Friday one day, and he actually replied. I said that he was my moral compass and mentor, and he just said, "I'm here to help."
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell. You certainly are.
Yeah, I think he was one of the first people that I followed. You recommended him, and then that was when I thought that I would never use Twitter. Right? You said, okay, I check this site frequently, so if you want to coordinate a recording date, that's a good way. Just send me a message on Twitter. And that was the only reason I had it, and you were the only person I had. Then you recommended Cool Queef. Now I just follow all of his, follows and mentions, and my Twitter feed is such a fucking cesspool. It is ridiculous.
I know, I love it. So is mine. It's
all shock accounts, and then I'm really. Because sometimes someone will say something, and I'll leave a serious comment like, I think the problem. I'm in that old mode back in skeptic land where I try to say something reasonable and sensible, and they'll be like, yeah, that's right, and I'm like, I really hope this person doesn't check all of my check who I follow because it's just a bunch of lunatics and shock accounts.
It is funny though because I'll get a serious tweet in my feed by somebody that's talking about an important issue or whatever, and then Cool Queef will be like, hey, just got this new footage of the birth of the royal baby, and it's just a girl taking a big shit. And so underneath, which was actually one of his tweets, which I loved, and I just replied to it. So that's exactly what I pictured when I thought of the royal baby. But yeah, that dude rocks. And yeah, there's a lot of funny ass people on Twitter. That there's one guy that retweets. He does nothing but retweet the ridiculous shit other people say. There was one guy he found. I don't know how he finds these people. They're accounts that people make and use for a day or two and never come back to. There was one guy who was like, "I'm getting harassed on here." That was like his first tweet, right? And then his second tweet was, "Seriously,